The following presentation is controversial and may be offensive to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good black male. The ones that are around, the ones that people don't care too much about, and the ones that women say there's not enough about. You know, many black men are suffering from the social disconnection of what's going on in society when it portrays to our women, or I should say women in general. This is what they brag about, of not saying there's not enough about. The good black male may not be necessarily a nerd. He's not a bookworm, and he's not a square. But he is put into a category of list of nerds, as what women would say, because of the fact he may not have quote-unquote swag, or he may not fit in, or his body may not be drenched or inched with a whole bunch of tattoos. So that makes him a square. Now I'm going to tell you something about the good black man, in which a lot of women overlooked. Okay? And I'm going to also tell you the flaws of good black men in the series that I'm talking about. You know, a lot of black men are usually the good black men are the ones that don't have criminal records. They actually go to school, they have an education, or they may have a 9-to-5 or even work 2 jobs, or just trying to get by. Now these type of black men are the ones that employees are looking for in compensation. These are the ones that get hired, and these are the ones that get good paying jobs. Which I think is ironic and kind of funny how black women would say that they don't want a man that's broke. They want a man with a good paying job. They want a man who's got his shit together. But the funny thing about it is, this good black man will be the one that has his shit together. But he's always overlooked for some strange, odd reason. But it's always the ones that proclaim as saying that they want a good black man that has his shit together, that works, has a good paying job, and has possibly no kids, but that's just getting by in life. They'll be the same type of brothers they overlooked or analyzed, and they go for the complete opposite of what they're looking for in the first place. The problem with good black men that I have to say is, the reason why these quote-unquote so-called thugs and these radicals get the type of women that the black men should be actually getting, or the good black men I should say actually should be getting. The reason that they are not attracting these type of women is because of the fact that we may be getting our shit together, we may be good at reading books, we may be logical, we may be knowledgeable, but let's just face it, most women are not attracted to that. Okay? They're not attracted to a strong, well, logical mind of a black man. They are attracted to the physical parents of a black man. Now, it's just like a speaker. Most of these preachers that you see that speak, have you noticed that they gather the attention of all the audience, even women? Women gravitate to preachers. You know why? I'm going to tell you something about preachers. A lot of these preachers are ex-pimps. A lot of them been on the streets and they're drug dealers and they've pimped out women. So they know exactly how to interact with women, which a lot of good black men don't. And what they lack is the substance of having the sociable skills and being that sociable character. Because let's just face it, a lot of good black men already shoot themselves in the leg before they even step foot into the dating scene or into the dating pool. They either say the girl's just too good for him, or he's just not good enough for the chick, when in fact he beat all the odds when it comes down to these thugs in the first place. Now I'm going to talk to you about bad women and their tendencies for bad men. In nowhere, shape, or form am I being bitter, or I'm being reluctant, or being, I should say, upset, however you call it, over the situation between this man fucking all these women. Before I even get into that, because these type of women I can fuck. It's not a problem for me. I've been through there before. My thing is, I don't see any substance within these women. These days, a lot of women don't value their sexuality. It's more of a marketing off to whoever has the highest bid. And usually whoever has the highest bid is usually a man like this. The so-called AKA thug. The dude out of prison. The guy with tattoos all over his fucking body. That looks like a goddamn inkboard. Yes, this type of man is the one that attracts these type of women. Before I even get into this story, I just want to say that these type of women, a lot of men overlook into getting to know them on a personal level. Yes, you see these women, they're completely gorgeous and they're good looking women, but these are the type of women that are either in college, may not have any kids yet, but will soon to have kids by this baby making bastard. And the reason why I call these dudes these baby making bastards is usually these women, when it comes down to a certain age, usually get pregnant by these type of dudes. And what are they left with? Nothing. Because the same type of women that we chase, which are these type of women with no substance, is the same type of men these women chase with no substance. Because let's just face it, a lot of women look for charisma, they look for character, they look for physical appearance, but not only just physical appearance, which a lot of good black men lack, is the reassurance of social skills. And this is what a lot of bad boys or thugs portray, is they have a lot of social skills that a lot of good men need to work upon. This is why they attract the women that they want. You know, they go for what they want. They're not scared to just go ahead, and they don't use scare tactics. They're not scared at all, but they go for what they want. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of good black men lack of. Now, this guy proclaims, now I'm not going to give out any names, but these are the women that he had sex with. This guy proclaims that he had sex with all the women on his Facebook. He let it be publicly known. And these women are not ashamed of knowing that the fact that they slept with this guy. Now, you can't really judge a book by its cover, because let's just face it, there are a lot of men that don't have criminal records, that do this type of stuff for female attention, and they know it's an eye candy for women. And let's just face it, it's just like you go to the gym, you work out, or if you get some tattoos on your body. Before you were overlooked, but now you've become an adaptation to society, which the media portrays and the media promotes out, which is sexy, or which is or eye candy to women. And this is what women are attracted to. But what people fail to realize, what nerds and good guys fail to realize, is that they can attract the same type of women as well. They can. It's by developing social skills. And this is what they lack of. And this is what a lot of bad boys lack. This is what a lot of bad boys are known for, are having social skills. Now, every one of these women had sex with him. Now, these are not all the women that he had sex with. These are just a couple of them that he fucked. And he's very proud of it. Now, who do you blame in this situation? You know, you can't blame the man for admitting that he had sex with all these women, because I'm pretty sure that some of these women are very upset of the fact that they've been gamed. But they're the same women that play the game too, which I don't understand too with a lot of these type of women. They proclaim to say that they don't want a broke man, they want a man who's educated, who has a good paying job, but yet still they lust after this piece of trash over here that doesn't have a job, that's in and out of jail, probably bends over and gets fucked by dudes, you know, who's probably running the streets, selling drugs, doing whatever possible, but yet at the same time he may even carry a transmitted disease, which is going around with these women. That's why I tell a lot of these dudes, you really need to do some FBI investigation on the women that you are talking to, because you don't know the history of these women. You don't know who they slept with, you don't know who they got involved with, you don't know their background or their past or what type of women they are. Now, needless to say, we can't just solely just blame and point our fingers at this guy for sleeping around with these women. I think it's a great thing that this guy is sleeping around with these women, because you know what? They are exposed. They're exposed. And in a way, these type of women warn you, type of men, these are not the type of women you want to put a ring on. These women have no substance whatsoever. We all know that we lived in a feminized, sexed out society. In the last clip I even said that there are no value to a woman's vagina, which there isn't. The reason why I say that is the aftermath of the situation, of what occurs. You know, even in the mainstream media, women are used to promote for sex and for exchange for sex, money, power, etc. But usually, as I was saying, with the bad boys, the reason why they get these type of women is because they're the type of men that spit in the face of society, but also don't have any fear of what the consequences would be, of what the aftermath would be. A lot of good black men are always worried about what will happen if they do take certain routes. It's just like in life, you always got to take risk in what you do. But at the same time, these feminized women in this country, do you really see yourselves bringing her home to your parents in a traditional value way, making her as your wife? Or do you really see this woman as having your kids? Or can you see her as being a mother to your kids? Well, this is the aftermath of what happens when these women chase after the wrong type of men, and when they try to see some sort of substance in the men that they don't have any substance whatsoever. During my experience, I've always noticed with women is that they always say what they don't want and want what they don't say. It's kind of like this. Women are more attracted to physical, emotional driven tactics from men. If you can emotionally touch her buttons, you can get the absolute best out of her. If you don't know how to emotionally trigger her senses, you're going to have a lot of problems in getting women. Because let's just face it, women are emotional creatures. But the so-called bad boys know that their minds is not what gets women, because they lack of that. They know the physical appearance and emotionally touching her senses is what gets the women into an uproar rage. But a lot of women also fail and make them mistakes, because this is the aftermath. There's nowhere, shape, or form do I feel sorry for these women sleeping with these baby-making bastards. And the reason why I call them that is because they don't give a shit. A lot of these dudes will get these women pregnant, and 9 times out of 10, they lack of father skills because of the fact of their criminal background history, in and out of jail, living in society of where they don't give 2 shits about you, your family, or themselves. But because of the fact that you, in your subconscious little mind, feel as if the outcome would be great. Because let's just face it, a lot of these women feel as if once they get what they want, they can change that man into being the nice guy, the good guy, the guy that I showed in the clip at the beginning of this video, the same guy that they didn't even bother give a chance to, or that they didn't even want to deal with in the first place. It's kind of funny that these women lack such logic that they always say what they want and don't mean what they say. It's, for instance, a man can have a good paying job. That same type of man will have a good paying job before she even got pregnant. Have a good paying job, has his head on his shoulders, and has everything in the world, has a nice car, even has his own place, but yet still, she still overlooks that guy. And like I always say, women do the choosing. But then she chooses the same exact opposite. A guy may not have a job, may not have a car, and he's in and out of jail. And guess what? You end up sleeping with him. And this is the consequences. Do I feel sorry for these fucking women? Hell no. So this is what the good black man is left with. Leftover trash. You know, it's kind of funny that when it comes down to nerds, with good nerds, say for instance you have men that are nerds and women that are nerds. Most men that are nerds are usually into their books, and they don't really care to go to nightclubs, or don't even care to go to anything that has to do with social society, because a lot of nerds do not like confrontation, and they want to have a woman who's into comic books or into the things that they're into. That's what nerds like. They like women that are into their type of stuff, and they don't necessarily want the hot chick, but they want a cute chick that even has glasses on or into this stuff. Have you noticed that? But have you noticed that it's always the nerdy chicks that always want to be the popular type? The nerdy chicks always want to be the cheerleader. They always want to be the sexy chick they see on the videos or on TV. So guess what? They get influenced by society, these type of women, and they meet those other type of women. I say, hey, take off your glasses, girl. Lay your hair down. You look a lot more beautiful. Put some mascara on. Next minute, they're playing the image of the character. And next minute, they're adapted to the westernized society. So, what's left for good black men? The baby-making bastards leftovers. These women that are pregnant, once they have their kid, all of a sudden, they want the good man. Sometimes they don't even change. Sometimes they're bastards themselves. That's why I don't feel sorry for these women getting pregnant. I don't feel sorry for these women going around fucking with the wrong type of dudes. They're actually doing me a favor. But this is what you left over, fellas. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed good men that were always left with zero options. We're always left when the vines have been picked out, when the good apples have been eaten, the apples have been taken off the fruit of the tree, and we're left with the rotten apples. This is what the bad boys, these dudes that are in prison, that are locked up, that are in concentration camps, or I should say that are incarcerated. This is what we have looking after. This is what we have. But as she sits down on a toilet seat, waiting to find out if she's pregnant or not, she knows subconsciously in the back of her mind, she knows she's made a mistake at a very young age, because she never necessarily thought she would get pregnant, but now the aftermath of her getting pregnant by the so-called loser, now she starts to wonder and think to herself, what should I do in this predicament? I have to tell him that I'm pregnant, but at the same time, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be single and alone. As the thoughts go through her head, she has so much to lose and so much to give, as her life for 18 years is now taken away from her. Now people say here like, okay, well, I feel sorry for this chick. Not one motherfucking bit. Because all of this resulted, if you see the clips of these videos of what I'm talking about, at the beginning of the video, this could have all been avoided. And have you ever noticed these women that sleep with these baby making bastards? They all have one thing in common. They all want what they don't say and say what they don't want. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we told you so. We told you so. But see, what I noticed too with these type of thugged out looking women, as I should say. Now, some of them look very, very exotic looking. Some of them look very good looking. But like I said to good men, is that you really need to do your investigation on these type of women. A lot of these women, as you would see in the picture, a lot of them do carry heat. A lot of them are hustlers. And some of these women do have other women that, or I should say, some of them do strip. Some of them are prostitutes. You need to do your background investigation and stop just looking at a pretty face and just thinking, okay, well, she has a pretty face, she can't do nothing to me. But I've noticed that the bad boys tend to not go for these type of women that are thugs like them. It's usually the good men that end up falling victim to these type of women. Oh, but we go back to the good black man. So these are what the options of this feminized country that we live in, and this is what the good black man is left over with. This is what the leftovers of what they have is: baby bastard making women that have these trailer kids, or usually is the MILFs, or the women that's been in, let's say, marriages that fail, and you see these leftover women that are chasing after younger men, and usually are good black men. It's true. So, what now? How can a good black man find substance? How can a good black man find a woman who's single, no drama, no strings attached, no leftover baby making bastard trash? Where can a good black man find substance? A core value substance which is very rare in American traditional culture. Where can he find substance? Now, I know you guys have heard me preach time and time again. Men, get your passports, travel overseas, and find yourself a good woman. Yes, you should. But I also need to make a video regarding to that, because there are bad overseas women as well, which men need to watch after as well. Now, I'm not saying that you can't find love over here in the Western society, but this is how good black men get an edge over the thugs, over the baby-making bastard women, over all this negativity, over the MILFs, over the failed relationship marriages, over the fucking mistakes that you see these women done in their lifetime. And they want to put it on you, and they expect you, good black man, to cater for them. Because once they already got their wombs all worn out and all fucked and plucked, they come to you for the rescue. You have to be the captain on the ship. My advice to good black men: continue doing what you do. Strive for your goals. Be successful at what you do. You don't pay no mind to no haters. You don't pay no mind to what people say you can't do or what you can't not do. That you don't have any swag, or you can't get women. Women are not the main priority, fellas. They're just an icing on the cake. You chase money, but you be humble when you chase money. You get your life together. You save. You invest. You become an educated black man. And once you're educated, once you succeed and you've got the tools that you need to travel and to go overseas, your mind can be expanded to so many different eras where you can find yourself what you've wanted, of what you've been wanting for the rest of your life. Or I should say for the rest of your life. I should say what you've been working your ass off and trying to succeed as a man. Because let's just face it, all men want good things in life. We shouldn't be celibate. We shouldn't be staying at home watching porn or jacking off to a woman that we wish we would have. Let's just be real. I think as men, the power of the penis is very powerful. Your sperm is gold compared to a woman's vessel. She want what you want. She want what you have, I should say. But many men put themselves in a position to where they feel as if the women are the ones that have the cards in their hands. They may possess the cards because society has put cards in their deck. But you chess. And you play chess. And you have your bishop and your kings on deck. Once you got your goals out of the way, your money together, your passport, even in your own little business, checkmate, motherfucker. And all these little baby mamas, baby bastard making women walking around the place, the women that shut you down when you wanted a date, when you wanted to go to the prom, you got rejected. Notice that when you get older, those women don't even look half the way they looked back in high school. Or they just look sad and desperate on Facebook, posting pictures after pictures of themselves just to try to get some sort of validation or attention, but knowing that the fact that you may be at the same age group, but once you got your shit together, fellas, all these little young hot looking women all of a sudden chasing after you. And guess what? That baby bastard making woman is looking at you with value now. Success, money, and power is the key. Being humble of what you do with your natural resources and your tools possessed in your hands is what's going to determine the outcome of your future. My advice to men is to do those things. Don't put women as a fucking pedestal. Don't put women in the driver's seat. You have control. As you see, those type of men, they got no substance either. Neither do those women. At the end of the day, it's a match made in heaven. But once you get your shit together, who's gonna be laughing now?